Hello everyone, this is Steve with the free Bullion Investment Guide. Today is April 5th and I'm doing a review and outlook price analysis video for gold and silver. And at the end of last week's video, I told you that I expected to see some consolidation in the price of silver and gold, but I also expected to see higher prices. We did see some consolidation. Clearly, this is the 4-hour chart in silver, but it really just looks like it moved sideways for the most of last week. It did stay above the 1390 support level, the price of silver, but then it came up, bounced above the 1430. It was resistance. Now it's support. When it fell below it became resistance, but then it popped up above it. It's just really a support resistance level. It doesn't have any strong, it's not a very strong resistance or support level, but it clearly has been outlined by the price, as you can see. And right now we're sitting about 10 cents above the 1430 level for the price of silver. For gold, I actually showed you a pattern. There isn't many patterns that you can show in the price of gold and silver, and simply because of all the hysteria in the market, it's just too chaotic to point out technical analysis. But I did show you these two bull flags that had formed in gold's price chart, and then the larger rising wedge here, which is a negative pattern in the price of gold, confirmed it to the downside. And I thought we would see some consolidation. The MACD and the RSI were both showing it. And I, though, thought also that we were going to see higher prices last week. We haven't seen higher prices yet, but I don't think they're too far off in the distance. For the outlook, well, first off, I've been going over the coronavirus numbers in my price videos, and I'm not going to touch on that right now. We all know what it is. We hear it every day. You don't need me to fill you in on it, and I'll keep the links down below in the description level, but we're all just hoping and praying that it gets better and that it'll stop spreading and that people will stop dying and that we can go on with our daily normal lives again without this craziness. So you don't need me to fill you in on it. You get enough of it. So I'm just going to go over the outlook, and then that'll be in the end of the video. So anyways, the outlook for gold and silver, I'm expecting higher prices. I'm going to stick to the 4-hour chart, and what I'm seeing in the 4-hour chart is I see an inverted head and shoulders in the price of gold. Let me go ahead and delete this. So this is the price of gold. It's a 4-hour chart. We see a inverted head and shoulders, and if I can find here, I'll show it to you real quick. I think there's the left shoulder, the head, and then we have the right shoulder, which looks like it's been completed. And we should continue to see the price of gold move higher. You can also see the same pattern down here in gold's MACD chart and in the RSI. And let me go ahead and point that out to you as well. But as you can also see that it has not been completed. The head and shoulders pattern has not been completed in gold and silver, or gold. It's also in silver's price chart. I'll show that to you as well. But what I'm trying to point out here is that it has been completed practically in the gold in the candlestick chart, but in the MACD it hasn't. So it's showing us that we should start to see 1700 price levels or higher. And in the RSI, we can also point out a head and shoulders price pattern in the RSI. Which also indicates that we should start to see higher prices for gold. How much higher? We won't know till the end of next week, really, but we'll have to see what happens. So let me go ahead and show you that same price movement in silver. So silver, we have the left shoulder here. It's in mostly the 4-hour chart. It's more hidden in the daily chart. I'm not going to really go over it in the daily chart. And here's the right shoulder. If it will, for some unknown reason, it's not. Oh, for crying out loud. Let me do it again here. So we got the left shoulder here. We got the head right here. And then we got the... Oh, I know. It's not really showing up that well because it didn't complete that well. So anyways, we see it right there. And the price did move higher above it. Let me just... There. Anyways, now if we do it for the MACD, you can see the inverted head and shoulders here, and it clearly is showing us that the price, the MACD, should also go higher, and the RSI for silver should also indicate it is indicating that the price, that we should see the price move higher, maybe up around the 1650 level, or I expect silver and gold to quite honestly break new heights with all the liquidity in the markets right now. I mean, what, we got 6 trillion. They're even talking about another bill, for crying out loud. I mean, how much? I realize that things are bad, but all this liquidity is just going to help silver and gold just skyrocket, and I expect it to hit new heights. Now, what new heights those are, I don't like putting price horizons. I don't know, and anybody could tell you when it's going to happen, and nobody really knows that either. Nobody's a prophet. Nobody can tell you what prices we're going to see in the future. They can make estimates, and a lot of times when you hear these guys come out with estimates and then it hits it, they're like, well, I told you that was going to happen. And it's just like, you had no idea that was going to happen. You guessed, and now you're taking credit for it. So I don't give price horizons simply because it's impossible to tell you where the price of silver and gold are definitely going to stop rising, but I do consider them to both hit new heights. That means ultimately we may see silver above 50 and gold above 2,000. When that happens, though, is something I can't tell you. So we have the inverted head and shoulders in the candlestick chart for gold and silver. It's been completed, but in the MACD and the RSI on the 4-hour chart, it hasn't. If I switch to the daily charts, it'll just all this stuff will be out of correlation with the prices and with the movements, and it won't make any sense to you whatsoever. But and it'll just look like garbage on the charts. But the fact is, I am expecting higher prices next week, and that's it, really. I hope you stay safe. I hope you stay healthy, and I will talk to you again next weekend. Take care, and God bless.